Hey guys, my name's Steve Guttenberg. This is the Audiophiliac Daily Show, and today we're back with John Atkinson, but this time in his lab, in his home in Brooklyn. And this is where he does the measurements for the magazine, and he has for, well, not in this exact space, but he's done the measurements for like 25 years. And he is definitely in his element in his lab. He just seems happier there, and I think that'll come across in the video. So let's see what John has to say about that. Hey John, how you doing? So we're here in your lab.
Yes. Now, yeah, this is where I do all the amplifier and digital measurements for Stereophile. Speaker measurements I do upstairs, either outside if it's a nice day and no wind and no rain and the sun isn't too hot, or I do them in the living room. But I have all my speaker measurement stuff upstairs in an armoire. Here, this is the lab. When I bought this, we bought this house in 2000. Before we bought it, this used to be a dentist's surgery. And this room was where he did all the fillings and mixed up the medicine. So it was obvious that I would use it as the magazine's test lab. So if you come in, it's a little tight, but I have here my main test bench. There's an Audio Precision 2722 analyzer, which I bought many years ago, various test loads, analog scope, digital scope, oscilloscope calibrator, antique computer running Windows XP to run the Audio Precision software, an even older computer that I used to use with the original Audio Precision System 1, but that analyzer died. That's what I mainly use. But I've been recently trying this new analyzer from Audio Precision, the AP555X, and it's it's got low distortion, low noise.
What am I looking at? I'm sorry.
This box here.
This box.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this runs on a Windows 10 computer, and I'm trying it out. Right now when I'm doing reviews, I'm actually doing two sets of measurements, one with my original analyzer and one with the new analyzer to see how closely they match. They do, except this does have lower distortion and noise for testing some products like the benchmark LA4 preamp, which has lower noise and distortion even than this highly regarded analyzer. So this is where all the magic happens.
Yeah, I feel the magic.
Yeah.
I absolutely do.
But it's a bit tight. You can see I have my trusty soldering iron, tools scattered around. This room isn't built.
But you can probably find everything.
Oh
within
yes,
a second,
yes,
right? It looks chaotic, but it's actually all makes sense.
Yes,
sure.
Yes. I need something to adjust the trim pot. There it is. It lives there.
And then all these cables. Yeah.
Oh, various cables of all different kinds. I have an Elvis Presley lunchbox, which of course has all my adapters in.
Okay.
So yeah, this is. I spend half my life in this room.
Wow. But you really love measuring.
I do. It's always a challenge to find out what a product is doing and why. And I mean, I have spent a lot of money over the last 25 years on test equipment. Just because every new advance, like with this new analyzer, helps me dig deeper into what products are doing. And then maybe I'll find out one day what measurements will predict when a product sounds good.
Oh, that'll be a glorious day.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold your breath.
I'm not. But do you ever feel the urge to do the opposite, to actually design things? You've learned so much about measuring and what's good and what's not, what's working.
Let me tell you a tale. So back in the 70s, when I didn't have any money, but I did have a soldering iron, so I made a lot of equipment. I designed a mic preamp, a mic mixer. I even designed a tube amp at one time. And the one thing that struck me was that even though I'd invested all this time in designing and making electronic products, they didn't sound as good as what you could buy.
Oh.
So,
But you see, but that was before you had all this experience, right? You've seen what works, you've seen what doesn't work. You can't reverse engineer it, so to speak.
Yeah, I could design an okay sounding amplifier or an okay sounding loudspeaker, but I don't have that essential creative spark, I've decided.
Oh, I'm so sad.
You know, it's, you know. But if you designed something, I could tell you what it was doing.
Oh, well, I don't know. That would your equipment would all go up in smoke if I designed something.
Yeah, so I mean, as I said, this is where I spend most of my time on measuring equipment for Stereophile's reviews.
It's so glamorous, though, to be here. I gotta
It
say,
is.
I feel tingly.
Yeah,
I do. This
and
is where the magic happens.
I have cool toys like an infrared thermometer to measure amplifier heat sink temperature.
Wow.
So that's at 21 degrees Celsius.
You are a nerd.
Yeah. So this is it.
This is it. So what do you need? What do you need here that you don't have in this room? What would make it better?
What would make it better?
I've stumped you.
You've stumped me because, as I said, I'm exploring the new analyzer, comparing it with the old analyzer. I'll show you a bit of history. These are the test loads I use. This is just one of them. I have two. Two 8-ohm power non-inductive power resistors. This is what I use to test amplifiers.
This is the simulated speaker load now?
No. These were the ones that David Clark used for audio back in the 80s.
Okay.
When audio closed down, Larry Greenhill, who was doing amplifier reviews for audio, inherited them. And then when Larry Greenhill moved to California last year, 2 years ago, he said, "Would I like them?" I said, "Yes, please."
Of course, yeah.
It's history.
This is history.
History.
So one other thing about measuring, though. So do you get any, let's say, tips from the designers themselves? Like, John, here's a better way to measure something.
Yes. I mean, speaker designers, Andrew Jones has always been a help. The late John Dunleavy, always very helpful. I mean, you learn from so many people in this business because, it's I remember Andrew Jones telling me that, I do near field measurements for loudspeakers for the woofer and port measurements. And Andrew said, "No, there is a better way to do it." So I said, "Oh, I'm all ears. What is it?" Sure. He said, "Drill a hole in the enclosure and put the microphone inside the cabinet." And I thought, yeah, I'd like to do that. And then I'd like to see the manufacturers' faces when they get their speakers back with holes drilled in them.
You made them better.
No, I mean, you wouldn't. You make them worse. They're unusable. But nevertheless, that's how Andrew said, that's how you really should do it. I thought, yeah, I wish.
Only with ELACs, though. Yeah. Drill into his.
But he's a designer. It's not the marketing man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's always with products that we review. My goal has always been when they get them back, other than the fact they're being unwrapped and wrapped again, they still look new. And sometimes it's more difficult to arrange than it should be.
Okay. Well, this is fun. Thanks for the look-see.
Okay, so yes, this is where the magic happens.
I feel it. I feel that energy coursing through me right now.